Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Maryellen taking off. Chapter 10, Home Sweet Home. It was Scooter. Both girls dropped to their knees, Joan very gingerly, and hugged him. Scooter, they cried with joy. Oh, I'm so glad to see you, said Maryellen. Joan even kissed Scooter on his nose. Where have you been? She chided him. You scared us to death. Scooter remained calm. He acted as if causing more excitement than the 4th of July fireworks was all in the course of a perfectly normal day for him. He yawned as Joan used her crutch to struggle to her feet and graciously allowed Maryellen to carry him all the way back to the campground. Maryellen, Scooter, and Joan had not been back long before the rest of the Larkins returned from the fireworks. All quiet here on the home front? Asked Dad. Maryellen and Joan lifted their eyebrows at each other. Not exactly, said Maryellen. It was all my fault, really, she confessed. You see, but Joan interrupted. I'll tell what happened, she said in her good old bossy way. So Joan told the whole story of Scooter's disappearance, summing it up with, Ellie is a real hero. She was brave and knew just what to do. Does that mean you will help Ellie take care of Scooter from now on? Asked Mom with a twinkle in her eye. Oh no, said Joan swiftly. Not entirely, that is. Well, there's one thing I can do. Help her call him to dinner. Scooter howled as the whole family sang, Chow, chow, dog food, eat it up, and you'll be a happy pup. Joan's ankle healed quickly, and all the way home, across the country from Wyoming to Florida, she held true to her promise. Every evening, she helped Maryellen summon Scooter to dinner, whistling along while Maryellen sang the dog food song. Sometimes Joan winkled at Maryellen while she whistled, in silent acknowledgement of the conversation they had in the woods. Maryellen felt grown up to the only one who knew Joan's secret hopes and dreams and ambitions. She was pleased to have his special bond with Joan. They even had their own private theme song. Nevertheless, even Maryellen was pretty tired of the Chow Chow dog food song by the time Dad pulled into their driveway. They all climbed out of their car feeling stiff and sweaty and very glad to be home. Welcome back, said Grandmom as she gathered Beverly, Tom, and Mikey in a big hug. Grandpa hugged Carolyn and Maryellen. Jerry was there to greet Joan. He scooped her up in a hug that was only for her. Did you miss me? He asked. I sure did, said Joan. Oh, I have so much to tell you. Maryellen caught Joan's eye and smiled. Home sweet home, Mom sang out. She put her hands on her hips and said to Dad with semi-pretend exasperation, I'm glad to be here. You even have to put up with this gigantic silver spaceship parked in our driveway. I feel as I'm living on Cape Canaveral. No, honey, Dad began, but Grandpapa interrupted. Come and tell me all about the fish you caught, he said to Dad, and off the two men went. I've never been so excited for the first day of school, Maryellen said to Davy a few days later. She skipped a skip of happiness as they walked to school together. Her booster rocket idea boosted her confidence. She was sure now that the launchman would listen to her and be impressed with her brainstorm. When's the first meeting of the science club? Not till next week, said Davy. Don't worry, you didn't miss much of the summer meetings. We still don't have a good idea for a flying machine. I do, said Maryellen. Well, I have part of an idea. What is it? Asked Davy. Before she could answer, Wade screeched up from behind them on his bike, the propeller on his beanie hat spinning wildly. He slammed on his brakes to make sure the bike skid sideways right in front of Maryellen so that she had to stop short. Greetings, Earthlings, he said, in a flat voice like a robot. Maryellen sighed. Here we go, she thought. Starting another school year with zany Wayne. To Davy, she said, I'll tell you about my idea later. She didn't want to say anything in front of Wayne because she was sure he'd blab her idea to everyone at the science club before he had a chance to present it. It was hard not to tell Davy, though. She felt as though she had fireworks with her boosting rockets going off inside herself. She was positive that good old Davy would share her enthusiasm. Before classes began, Principal Carey announced over the PA system that the new 5th graders should meet in the auditorium. When everyone gathered, Principal Carey made a startling announcement. Our school building is so crowded that's bursting at the seams, she said. So to use our space efficiently, And to improve academic performance, we'll now have pull-out groups. Some students will be pulled out of their homeroom classrooms and sent to different teachers for math and English. Everybody knew that they were being separated by ability, and the smartest kids would be all in the same pull-out groups. And as the day went on, the girls found out that Angela and Maryellen were in the top math group, but the Karens were not. Maryellen and Karen King were in the top class, but Angela and Karen Stallman were not. When the girls met at lunch, Karen King lifted her milk carton to toast Maryellen, saying, "Congratulations on being chosen for top pull-out groups, Ellie." "Oh," said Maryellen, "thanks." Karen Stallman sighed. "I liked it better when we were all in the same class. Now that we're in different groups, we won't see one another as much as we used to. Let's get together every chance we get, like at the lunch and recess," said Angela. "I'm going to be a Girl Scout this year, so we'll be together at meetings. And our homeroom teacher, Mrs. Martinez, is starting a baton twirling club. You can all join that." "Yes, good idea," said the Karens. "I don't think I can join anything else new," Maryellen said slowly. "I just joined the science club." Oh, said Angela, crestfallen. "Right. Well, the science club meets at the same time as the Girl Scouts," said Karen Stallman. "Which one will you choose?" "Well, Maryellen stumbled over her words. "I'm pretty excited about the science contest. I drew lots of sketches over the summer, and I have a really good idea for a flying machine. So I guess I choose the science club." Maryellen's friends were quiet. The science was awkward, weighing down their feelings. Finally, Karen King said, "Gee, Ellie, it seems like it's more important to you to be in the science club than it is to be our friend." "No," Maryellen protested. "That's not true." She felt terrible. Was it selfish of her to hurt and disappoint her friends? Was she wrong to go off on her own? She wrapped up the rest of her sandwich and put it back in her lunch. Her throat was so tight that she knew she couldn't swallow another bite. That afternoon, the air was so soupy that it was hard to breathe. So after school, Maryellen and Carolyn walked to the little kids down to the beach. Joan was already there, camping comfortably under a beach umbrella, reading. "Hi, Joan," they said. "Hi," she said, not looking up from her book. The kids tossed their towels next to Joan and stampeded across the sand into the water. Maryellen plunged headfirst under the giant wave coming toward her and heard it thunder above her and crash onto the shore. She bobbed up, blinking in the sunlight and glaring, then bouncing off the water, and grinned. As usual, the ocean refreshed her. Nobody could feel hot and bothered or grumpy, grouchy, gloomy. In the ocean, she could see Carolyn playing with Beverly, Tom, and Mikey, splashing in the shallow water, and she could hear them laughing and shouting with glee as the water tickled her legs. After a while, Maryellen strolled back up to the beach to Joan's umbrella and flopped it on the sand. Joan looked up. "So how was your first day at school?" "Not so good," said Maryellen. "How come?" asked Joan. "Well, the Karens and Angela have hurt feelings because I'm staying in the science club, which means we won't see each other much," Maryellen explained. "Why are you staying in the science club?" asked Joan. "No, I thought you said those 6th grade boys were annoying." "They are," sighed Maryellen, "but I just really love the idea of inventing a flying machine." "Well, I think if you love something, you have to stick to it and stand up for it," said Joan. "Even if it doesn't make sense to other people or what they expect you to do. If you love it, do it." "Is that how you feel about reading?" Maryellen asked. "Yes, I love reading," said Joan with a contented sigh. "I love books more than anything." "More than Jerry?" asked Marion curiously. Joan replied slowly, "No." "Is it a tie?" asked Maryellen. Said Joan. She made an apologetic face and nodded. "I'm afraid it is." "Why are you afraid?" asked Maryellen. "It's not as if you have to choose between Jerry and books. You can have both, can't you? Haven't you spoken to Jerry about going to college yet?" "Yes," said Joan, "and he thinks it's a great idea for me to go. Someday. But right now we can't afford it. See, because Jerry was in the Navy in the Korean War, he's been living in the dorm and taking classes free of charge. The GI Bill pays for the returning veterans to go to college, but married students have to live in the married student housing, and even though the rent is low and Jerry and I will both be working part-time. We can't afford rent and tuition for me. If only you could live somewhere for free, said Carolyn, who had joined under the umbrella and was helping Mikey dry off while Beverly helped Tom. You could live in our house, but it'd be awfully crowded. Some of us would have to sleep in the carport. Or in the tent we took on our trip, said Beverly. Hey, said Maryellen, bursting into the brainstorm. What about the Airstream? You and Jerry could live in the Airstream. It could be your home sweet home. That's the end of that chapter. See you.